What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Outcasted OC's YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. But before we get into that, I've just hit the microphone before we get into anything. You can go follow the channel on TikTok and Instagram if you want at Outcasted OC. If you like what I'm talking about today, you can go follow my personal channel, Rudy Bucandias, on the TikTok, and you can go follow me on Instagram, but more on that later. Today, we're going to be disgusting Monday Night Raw. It is a disgusting Monday Night Raw because we get so much juicy information. It's absolutely unbelievable what we've seen this week, and I am absolutely hyped to talk about it with you all. Now, usually we go, segment by segment on this, and today I'm not going to do that. Today we're going to get straight to the bit where everyone obviously wants to hear about, everyone wants to talk about, everyone wants to hear my opinion of, which is the whole Triple H announcement. Now, the rest of Monday Night Raw is great, but I'm going to get to that first because it's the most it's literally the most interesting part by quite a long way. Triple H comes out to the ring and says the draft is going to change WWE forever. I mean, we've heard this 1,000 times. Every single year we hear the draft is going to change WWE forever. This is nothing new. However, he starts talking about Roman Reigns. Now, I thought this was strange that he starts talking about Roman Reigns in this way. The fact that he is the head of creative, everyone kind of knows he's the head of creative, but he talks about Roman Reigns' contract, the fact that he's negotiated himself into a place where he doesn't have to defend the championship as much as he used to. He talks about how he doesn't have to show up to all the shows, etc. And that's not good enough for the fans, and it's not good enough for WWE. So what is the solution, guys? What is the solution? He says no matter what brand Roman Reigns ends up on, whether that be Raw or SmackDown, he's going to be staying there with the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. What's going to happen to the other brand? He goes, we need a new champion. We're going to have a match. I don't know if this is going to be a match or a tournament at Night of Champions later on in May in Saudi Arabia. I hope it's a tournament because apparently they've scrapped King of the Ring. So this would be a great replacement for King of the Ring, crowning a new World Heavyweight Champion. He unveils the World Heavyweight Championship. And guys, you know what? I know my thoughts on the World Heavyweight Championship. I didn't like the old one. I think a couple of people know that. I was never a big fan of the big gold belt. I thought it was one of the most ugliest belts ever. I never understood why people loved it so much. But this belt is gorgeous. I really do like this belt. I like the fact that the WWE logo isn't as big as it is on the Universal Championship or the WWE Championship. I always thought that was a strange decision to have the massive W. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, like, for branding, like, the WWE logo is right there. But at the same time, it's kind of a case of, we get it. Like the to the expense of the design, you've just plastered a massive WWE logo on there. And for me, it never looked very good. But I think this belt looks really nice. I love the gold plate, and for me, it kind of looks like the AEW Championship. It's quite nice. I think people will start to like it a little bit more once they start to get used to how it looks. I love the fact all the way through this night we get a couple of people mentioning the new World Heavyweight Championship in their promos. How nearly everybody after the championship is revealed stares at it on the way down to the ring. They're trying to make this a big deal. And for you guys who are saying on Twitter and on TikTok, on every platform where wrestling is talked about, saying it's basically the Roman Reigns consolation prize. I do want to remind you guys, a lot of you people were talking about how this is the thing that needs to be done. The championships needs to be split, or there should be a new championship in place. So not everyone has to go after Roman Reigns, and we can get more championships matches per pay-per-view. And now that we're getting that, we're seeing people complain about it. So the moral of this story is wrestling fans are fickle and they can never be pleased. You will never please anyone, but I don't understand what the big deal about this is. It's a nice championship. It looks a lot better than the Universal Championship. It's it's one of those championships where it actually looks desirable, and the fact that They're already putting a lot of work into this belt. Really says a lot for me. So I'm interested to see who's going to win it at Night of Champions. I might give a prediction at the end of this video if I remember, but let me know in the comments who you guys think is going to be the first ever World Heavyweight Champion. World Heavyweight Champion in 2023, guys. Wow, when did the old one get retired? What was it? Was it in like 2013 when Randy Orton and John Cena had that match? Was that when it was? I think I'm 90% sure that's when it was. But anyway, heading back to the start of the show now, and now we're going to be talking about the show more of like a linear discussion now, because it wouldn't make sense if I talked about, you know, if I talked about the show in any other way. But I really wanted to talk about that just so we can get it out of the way, because it was the main point what everyone wanted to talk about, and now you've got my opinion on it. So congratulations. We open up Monday Night Raw tonight with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out to the ring and he starts basically talking about Brock Lesnar, how he is facing him at Backlash, how Brock Lesnar is a coward because he attacks him from behind. It's funny how the beast incarnate, the greatest combat athlete of this generation, has to attack Cody Rhodes from behind. Blah 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 blah. Cody Rhodes then proceeds to strip off, and I think I'm watching the bodybuilding federation back in like the early 90s again. So Cody Rhodes takes his shirt off and he says he does remember the fact that this was the arena where he tore his pec off just over a year ago, and this is the arena where he fought Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell 12 months ago. The crowd loved this. By the way, the crowd the crowd was really good tonight. I mean, I know Chicago is always great for the reactions, but they really did themselves justice tonight. Yeah, they give Cody Rhodes a massive reaction for like when he was talking about how he had to go through adversity to beat Seth Rollins last year at Hell in a Cell. And Cody Rhodes turns around and says, Brock Lesnar, pick a part of my body, pick a part on my body, and start trying to get another scar on me, basically. Cody Rhodes' promos for me are either great or the crap. And it's never in between. You either get a really fire promo from Cody Rhodes, or he misses the mark completely. And for me, this was a massive misstep for Cody Rhodes. It was a bit of a same promo. How he's the big baby face. He's going to overcome adversity. You know, the road to redemption after losing at WrestleMania, you know, starts with Brock Lesnar. I think it feels a bit too try-hardy. When I say that, I mean like they're trying to make him a babyface, which I'm absolutely fine with because he works as being a babyface. But at the same time, I think this is the wrong way to go about it, because sometimes his promos can feel like I say samey, and it really is like it really doesn't hit the mark sometimes. So thank God, this promo is saved by Finn Balor, who comes out and offers Cody Rhodes a place in the Judgment Day. Cody Rhodes is polite. He does like a babyface thing and then goes to decline. But Finn says, hear me out. At WrestleMania, you were by yourself. You made the mistake of going into that match by yourself, and that's why you lost, because you were overwhelmed by the numbers of the Judgment Day, of the Bloodline, should I say. If you had the Judgment Day on your side, then this wouldn't happen. So at Backlash, when you face Brock Lesnar, get the Judgment Day on your side. And Cody Rhodes declines. Finn Balor says, well, you know, if you're not with us, you're against us, basically, Anakin Skywalker style. And this basically all leads to a match later on. It's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Finn Balor. Now, this is a match that could be the main event of any pay-per-view, not just in WWE, anywhere. Cody Rhodes versus Finn Balor, take my goddamn money, please. So I was excited when this match was announced. I was really excited when this match was announced. After this, we do get a Bloodline segment. And it's so good, this match. I think this is match of the night for me, and it came way too early in the night. We get the Bloodline versus the LWO. Absolutely fantastic chemistry from these two factions. The fact that you got Solo Sikoa in there being the big heavy, and Santos Escobar trying to neutralize Solo Sikoa throughout this match is really cool. You get the Usos and Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde going at each other, or, you know, the smaller guys just basically throwing themselves at each other, which is really cool to see. All the high-flying moves. Ever since the LWO became the LWO, not Legado del Fantasma, their work has been absolutely stellar. And I think the fact that it's now that they're a babyface faction, it really, really works in their favor. I think the fact that Rey Mysterio has lended his name and like the LWO name to Legado del Fantasma really, really helps the cause. And I'm glad that the spotlight is finally being shone on these guys. And I am slowly becoming a fan of the LWO name. I remember like last week I was a little bit I wasn't sure because you've already got the LWO, and it's always a bit iffy when you bring back old factions and old faction names. But they've got the whole name change. They've got some really nice merch going on. They've got a nice little theme song that pays an homage to Eddie Guerrero. I didn't hear that, but according to Corey Graves, it pays homage to Eddie Guerrero, which is absolutely fine with me. Like, any talk from Eddie Guerrero, any talk about Eddie Guerrero, I am 100% there for. But this match was really, really good, guys. Honestly, go and watch it. And towards the end of the match, Cruz del Toro comes off the top rope straight into a Samoan spike from Solo Sikoa. The Usos pick up Del Toro straight into the 1D. 1, 2, 3. The Bloodline come out with a victory. But I'm telling you right now, if the draft shakes up the rosters as good as I think it's going to be, I really do think you should keep the LWO together and maybe even give them a tag team championship run, because I'm really liking them. And the fans clearly are getting behind them as well, especially with Santos Escobar really, really fighting Solo Sikoa. I thought this was a really nice little partition segment between the two high-flying tag teams, and Santos Escobar really, like I say, trying to neutralize and chop down the big oak tree that is Solo Sikoa. Even though a Sikoa tree is different than an oak tree, he tried to cut down the big Sikoa, the big Solo Sikoa. You get what I'm saying anyway, guys. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying, right? You understand. So, after the match, the Usos get on the microphone and say, the longest reigning tag team champions of all time had one bad night at WrestleMania. Only one bad night. But this Friday, they are going to change everything. And on Friday Night SmackDown, they are dedicating the match to the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And they are bringing back the tag team championships to the Bloodline, because everyone's the twos and they the ones. I'm looking forward to this match on Friday, but I think it's a bit of an obvious decision who's going to win this. I hope I'm proved wrong. I mean, it would be a massive shock if the Usos won the tag team championships again, but I think people would freak out and get really annoyed by it. When it comes to the tag team division, by the way, I do just want to say when we're talking about the draft, I think it should be a floating championship. In terms of, I think they should bring both tag team divisions together, and like the tag team division should be able to float between brands, because there isn't enough tag teams on the main roster to justify having two divisions and two championships for two different divisions. It doesn't make any sense to me. Make it a floating title, make it a floating division. It makes it far more interesting for everybody involved. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comments. Would you be okay for? Would you be all right? To have a bit of a floating division for the tag team division. But anyway, moving on for now. We go backstage, and it is a Bianca Belair interview. She says she is very excited to face Io Sky at Backlash, but then she's interrupted by Damage Control. Bayley, in particular, who speaks on behalf of the two girls, obviously quite a lot, challenges Bianca Belair and two friends to a 6-woman tag team match. However, Io Sky, I feel like, was angling for a match tonight with Bianca Belair, like a singles match, maybe even the championship match tonight. So when Bayley sets up the 6-woman tag team match, Bayley and Damage Control walk off. Io Sky stays behind for a minute to stare down Bianca Belair. It's clear that Io Sky is getting a little bit annoyed with the rest of Damage Control, seeing as though I feel like Bayley is trying to steal the spotlight from her. But more from that a little bit later on in the night when we see that match. It's like probably the most interesting thing about that match. So it's the match isn't that good, guys. Spoiler alert. I tell you what is interesting though. We do get a backstage segment here with Jey Uso. Jey Uso is on the phone, I'm assuming talking to Roman Reigns or somebody. He is there. He runs into Sami Zayn, who says to him, was it really a good idea to dedicate the match on Friday to Roman Reigns? Because what's going to happen if you lose? Jey Uso says, listen, Sami, you can say all you want. You can make all the mind games. You can come to me and talk about whatever you want. The fact is, you made the decision that you had to make. He also turns around and says, you need to be careful because talking all this nonsense, like you're the one who turned your back on us and you're putting all your faith into Kevin Owens, basically. But at the same time, You made your decision, like I've just said, and like it or not, I made my decision. Now, I thought this was really interesting. We're getting into a bit of a Jey Uso storyline tonight on Monday Night Raw. This is not the last we see of Jey Uso, kind of maybe second guessing himself and self-doubting himself. I thought this was really interesting headed into Backlash, especially considering the fact that a lot of people thought the whole Jey Uso thing was going to take place before WrestleMania, but it looks like we're really going to be getting into this in the next couple of weeks and after Backlash, and I'm all down to see it. I really think it should have taken place a little bit before, but as long as we get there, you know, that's absolutely fine by me. You know, bring it full circle, please. After this, we get a Trish Stratus recap of the absolutely amazing promo that she cut last week. I saw a few people complaining about a promo last week, and I'm really not sure why. This was one of the best promos that I've seen in a long time, not just from the women's division, but like from the men's division. This was on a Cody Rhodes when he's on form level of a promo for me. Trish Stratus then once again backstage, like really plays the part of the heel well, by saying she had to get rid of Lita, like she was talking about in the promo last week. She talks about how she has to basically put Becky in a place like one, but it is kind of a repeat from last week, but it does the job. It does the job. She tells Becky Lynch that she needs to thank her. The interviewer then, by the way, says to her, like, you know, where has Becky Lynch been for the past couple of weeks? And Trish Stratus says, maybe she can't handle the pressure. She's got a bit of a secret about Becky Lynch, and the secret is she's seen the cracks of Becky Lynch, that she can't handle being the top girl in the division and while also being a mother. So she's done Becky Lynch a favor by giving her a couple weeks off. Basically, thank you, Trish Stratus. That's her new. That's her new what's the word I'm looking for? That's her new catchphrase. There we go. And the interviewer says, thank you, Trish. And she goes, see, you know what I'm talking about. Trish Stratus for me has been absolutely killing it. I'm glad that we've got it till SummerSlam. I'm assuming that's when the match, like we're having a big match maybe between Lita and Trish Stratus is going to be taking place. I am really excited to see what Trish Stratus is going to be doing for the next couple of months. She is really coming to her own ever since she's become a heel. I know that's only been a couple of weeks, but I always preferred Trish when she was a heel. When she was a babyface, she was a bit meh, like you know, like I mean, she wasn't awful. Like Trish Stratus was always amazing, but like, yeah, no, she was a bitch. She's a bitch. That's what Trish Stratus is, and that's what she's always meant to be. Like she keeps on saying, like, you know, I'm not your fantasy. I'm not this, etc. And like it just really pokes, like, you know, digs into the fans, and they're saying, you know, stop obsessing over me. I like, you know, you fancy me. We all know it. Like, you know, it's classic. It's classic Trish Stratus, and I'm all here for it. What do we have next, guys? We have the Street Profits in a match versus, I'm just gonna call them the Hurt Business, because we got Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. A really short match, to be honest with you. There's nothing really to write home about, except the fact that I really think Shelton Benjamin and Cedric need a bit more of a spotlight shone on him, because Cedric is excellent in the ring. He's good at really talking trash when he's in the ring, and obviously Shelton Benjamin is fantastic as well. The Street Profits, there's a lot of things to be said about what Corey Graves says on the mic, on the commentary here. Street Profits obviously win this match, but what Corey Graves says is very interesting, and like, and I know the draft is coming up and it happens a lot, but he made an emphasis on the fact that could have been the Street Profits' last match together. And we all know that there's been speculation that Montez and Angelo Dawkins could be splitting up in the draft, or, you know, one of them could be turning on each other, which is an interesting decision for me, like, now, because I feel like it could have happened, you know, a couple of weeks ago. But it is what it is. I do want to say that Angelo Dawkins looks absolutely clean as hell in this match, and he's 100% ready for a singles run, just as much as Montez Ford is ready for a singles run. If they want to split up these two guys, then that's absolutely fine by me. I wouldn't put them in a feud together, but I would turn one of them heel. I'd turn one of them heel and, like, maybe put them in the Hurt Business, or maybe, like, do something interesting with them. Montez Ford, in my opinion, probably would do better as the heel. Like I think he has mic work that could pose really, really well for a bad guy. Maybe even turn Bianca Belair heel and make them like a power couple in WWE. I think that would be interesting. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comments. Angelo Dawkins can work really well as a baby face for me. Like he's really got the moveset down in the ring at the moment where he looks a lot more cleaner, he looks a lot more smooth, and for me, he's improved tenfold over the past year. Ever since the feud with the Usos around this time last year, Angelo Dawkins has really, really come into his own, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do if they do split up the Street Profits. Sorry about that, guys. Still got a cold. I know, still got a cold over the past like couple of weeks. I do just want to mention something about the Triple H segment, by the way. I've just seen in my notes, and like when he said it, it really bothered me. He said he's used to competing in this arena, the All-State Arena. He remembers being at WrestleMania 22, defending the WWE Championship against John Cena, and I'm just sat there like, I feel like that's not correct. Like, because that's my favorite WrestleMania of all time. Did you not know? And it was John Cena defending the championship against Triple H, and Triple H lost. So I don't know what he's remembering, but it was 100% wrong. What else do we get next? Yeah, like I say, like I'm not going to talk about the Triple H segment of them because we discussed that at the start of the match, the start of the review. We get a little short backstage segment here with Damian Priest, basically talking about Bad Bunny. It's not like I say, not much to write home about, guys. He's basically saying he's happy that Bad Bunny's coming to the arena as long as he doesn't get involved in their business. Which is understandable, to be honest with you. I'm kind of on Damian Priest's side for this segment. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like Bad Bunny, like he got involved, he hit Dominic Mysterio, and Damian Priest was more in his well within his rights to grab a fan. He was a fan in the front row who hit a wrestler. He threw him over the barricade and put him through the table. I don't care if it's Bad Bunny or not. I'm on Damian Priest's side. This is an interesting segment coming up here, guys, right? Because this is the second part of the whole Bloodline segment in this show. We get the Usos talking backstage. Jimmy Uso is talking about how they're gonna take back the championships on Friday. They're gonna, do it for Roman Reigns. And Jay's just a little bit out of it. Jay's just not paying attention to what he's saying. And like Jimmy notices it. He asks him what's wrong. And then Jay said he spoke to Sami Zayn. Jimmy goes crazy and says, like, what are you doing? Why are you speaking to Sami Zayn? Jay's like, what if we don't win the championships on Friday? What's going to happen to us if we don't win the championships on Friday? Jimmy doesn't want to hear any of this. Like, he doesn't want to hear any of the negativity. He starts getting very annoyed. And Solo Sikoa has to kind of step in here, like, put his arm out in between the Usos, like, to stop Jimmy from getting so mad. Jimmy sits back down. This bit was interesting for me because Solo Sikoa, like, not only is the enforcer for the Bloodline, he looks like he's there to keep the Usos under control. And in my opinion, and this is the way I looked at it, Roman Reigns has sent Solo Sikoa to kind of keep an eye on the Usos, which kind of feeds into Sami Zayn's rhetoric, and it feeds into maybe Jey Uso's paranoia. The fact that like Roman Reigns feels like he has to send a babysitter to go and watch the Usos now. And the Usos, the Usos used to be on top of the world with the championships. They used to be like, the right hand man, or the right hand men, should I say, Roman Reigns. And now they're just sort of there to do a job. And Jey Uso maybe he's thinking about that a little bit more since he's had his conversation with Sami Zayn. But that was a very interesting segment, guys, and that is not the last we'll see of the Usos tonight. Next we get Damage Control. We get Damage Control versus Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Bianca Belair. I'm not even going to talk about this match. It was awful. Not because of anyone in the ring. There was one really nice segment here where Raquel and Liv Morgan did a move where it was like pretty much mirrors Braun Strowman's and Ricochet's move. You know where Braun Strowman gets Ricochet to stand on his shoulders and do like a swanton. Well, obviously Raquel and Braun are going out in real life, so I think that was cool that she was like paying homage to him. I thought that was really cool. But not much happened in this match, to be honest with you. Bayley ends up getting pinned, And Io Sky looks really, really annoyed on the outside. The fact that she's kind of lost a little bit of momentum now that Damage Control has lost this match. Momentum that she probably sorely needs going into facing Bianca Belair. A match that she didn't even want in the first place has kind of cost her a little bit of momentum. I'm interested to see if Io Sky is going to beat Bianca Belair. I mean, I thought it was going to be Asuka, to be quite honest with you, but I'm down for Io Sky winning the championship. I mean, I'd call it a consolation prize, but for me, that's really interesting. I'm 100% down to see Io Sky with the women's championship. I mean, at this point, I think it needs to be somebody new with this women's championship. Bianca Belair has done all she can with that championship. She's been champion for over a year, and now it's to the point where you need a bit of fresh blood there because she's nearly faced everyone there is to face. Even when you consider the fact that there's a draft coming up, Bianca Belair has faced a lot of people in that locker room. Like, there's not many people that could do an interesting feud with Bianca now, in my opinion. So maybe Bianca needs to take a little bit of a break, or maybe she needs to go over to maybe SmackDown in the draft and just reset. We need a reset EST. But like I said, maybe we could even have a heel version of Bianca Belair with Montez Ford. That would be interesting. I would be very interested in seeing that. Oh, sorry, guys. Got to take a drink. What have we got next? Oh, right, okay. I don't really know what to make of this segment. I really don't know what to make of this segment, to be honest. I thought there was a lot of talking and nothing much was said, to be honest. Austin Theory comes out. By the way, I like his t-shirt. I will say that I like his t-shirt, and I will say there is a lot of talking in this segment. But as much as people like to crap all over Austin Theory, he's getting good at these heel promos, guys. He's getting good. You need to get on board with the Austin Theory wagon. A lot of people call him crap. A lot of people say he sucks. I'm really not sure why. I think he's very talented. I think he's 100% worthy of that United States Championship, and he's held it down quite well. He comes out and says, like, the fans are saying he sucks. He was like, well, I beat John Cena at WrestleMania, so I don't know what else he's got to say. He says he's the greatest United States champion of all time, so why is he not showing respect? Why was he not given the opportunity to pick his opponents for Backlash for the US title, which is an interesting point to bring up because essentially Gunther was allowed to pick his opponents. He was allowed to pick the matches that that Sheamus and Drew had to see who was going to be his challenger at WrestleMania. It's a shame that Gunther interfered in that match, but I get Austin Theory's point. Bobby Lashley then comes out and interrupts him and says, I know how tough you are in the ring, Austin, but you keep running away from all the opponents and all the chances to defend this United States Championship. You keep ducking and dodging. You're young, you're brash, you're cocky. But you need to realize he really bigs him up in this segment. Like he says, you need to realize that how much But basically, he just says he's great, guys. And I don't know what else to say or how to say it. And he says, I'll give you an example of how you need to step up. Guess who the idea it was for the triple threat match? It was mine. And then Austin Theory's like, I mean, and I'm thinking as well, like, how did he get to book the match? Like, he's not even the champion. But Austin Theory's like, wow, it's that easy to book matches, right? And so where was your match at WrestleMania? Like, where was that match? And Bobby Lashley kind of just goes, I should smash your head in for saying that. I don't know if this went off script or not, because Bobby Lashley's it looked like Bobby Lashley was kind of taken out of the moment here by that line from Theory. I don't know. I don't really know. But anyway, like a brawl ensues where Austin Theory attacks Bobby from behind. Bobby then gets the advantage. Bronson Reed comes out. Everyone just starts attacking each other. It's a great little segment where everyone's just fighting each other. Austin Theory and Bronson Reed get on the same page, start beating down Bobby Lashley, start double teaming him, throwing him into the ring post. Austin Theory gets him back in the ring, hits an A-Town down, starts talking trash, turns around right into a clothesline from Bronson Reed, who then hits the tsunami on him. Bronson Reed holds up the United States Championship. Now, I don't know how everyone else thinks about this, but I want to see Bronson Reed win this match. I would not mind in the slightest if Bronson Reed held this United States Championship, because this was one of the first segments of the night after the World Heavyweight Championship was revealed, that Bobby Lashley was also staring at the World Championship. Austin Theory mentioned the World Championship, so you've got a lot of people interested in this. Now, Austin Theory's been on the main roster for a couple more months than Bronson Reed. Bobby Lashley is also a mainstay on the main roster, so I think they're ready to maybe go into a tournament for the World Heavyweight Championship. Give Bronson Reed the mid-card title, see how he does with that. Like, I don't see there's any harm in that whatsoever, because Bronson Reed is an absolute monster, and I really think that he could do a lot of damage on the mid-card. And he can have a couple of good matches as well. Let me know what you think of that in the comments as well. We now go backstage to a segment where Boogs is overwhelmed and he doesn't understand the draft somehow. So Elias, these guys are tag team, because I've not seen them have a match. Are they on main event or something? I have no idea. Like, they must be on main event, because I've never seen them tag team together, honestly. I don't really care either. Like, Boogs needs to go back with Matt Nakamura, or he needs to like go and do his own thing. I don't know. But Elias needs to also go do his own thing. Like, Jesus Christ, get this out of the way. Elias brings Gable in to help him understand how the draft works. I think this is the first time that I've heard that we're going to be having 2 nights of the draft. I thought they were all going to do it on one night, but just like years prior, we're going to be having a night 1 and night 2. I'm assuming night 2 is going to be the Raw after on the Monday. So 2 nights of the draft, I'm all for that. Gable said it is ensured that the Alpha Academy are going to be staying together, and he has got his #1 guy, Otis, to stay with him. That's when Maxine Dupree shows up and says, actually, I've made sure that no matter where Otis goes, I go. Ali then shows up out of nowhere and like starts talking about positivity. Maybe it'd be best for Alpha Academy to split up so Otis can go do his own thing, so that Chad can go do his own thing. That maybe Chad could be a world heavyweight champion one day. Which, by the way, yes, please take my money. I would love to see that. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? This all leads to a very, very quick match between Ali and Gable. For me, I would like to have seen about 15 minutes more of this match, because I feel like Ali and Gable would have had great chemistry in the ring. Ali wins with a roll-up. Gable is about to go for that rolling German suplex that he does, but Gable counters and goes into a roll-up and wins 1, 2, 3. Once again, a match that there is not much to write home about, but it is what it is, I suppose. We get now backstage again. Jimmy Uso now runs into Sami Zayn and tells him to stop playing mind games with Jey Uso. Stop talking about my brother, because do you know what? Like, you and Kevin Owens need to like start worrying about each other. Kevin Owens used you to get the tag team championships. What's going to happen when you lose those championships on Friday? He's going to turn on you, because he'll remember all the times that you kicked him in the face. And how do I know that? Because I was stood next to you when you were doing it, Sammy. I mean, he brings up a pretty good point. I mean, Kevin Owens, it's not like he's never turned on Sami Zayn before. Am I right, guys? Do you know what I mean? Like, it happens. It definitely happens. Finn versus Cody. Finn versus Cody for me was very disappointing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna spend too much time talking about this match, guys, because it was slow, it was clunky. I don't know. I mean, Finn versus Cody match for me. When I said at the start of this review, this could have main evented any pay-per-view, but this match was very, very slow. I don't know if they're saving it for another time or something, but wow, nothing to write home about. Cody Rhodes wins the match after hitting a pedigree and then a crossroads on Finn Balor, 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to talk about it any more than that, guys. It was very boring, very slow. There was a lot of rest holds. I don't know if they were trying to keep Cody healthy. I don't know if they were trying to keep Finn healthy because of the stitches that he had at WrestleMania. Who knows? All I know is I know for a fact that these two guys can have a better match with each other. So I don't know what to tell you with that, to be honest with you. Next, we get Seth Rollins, who comes out to the ring. Seth Rollins comes out to the ring and says he is ready to take on Almost. And that's the name that he's been thinking about. But there is something that's caught his attention tonight. And of course, he's talking about the World Heavyweight Championship, guys. And he talks about how many people that Roman Reigns is defeated. But as much as he would like you to think, Roman Reigns has never beat Seth Rollins, and that's true because last year at the Royal Rumble he got disqualified. That was sort of a thing that was kind of just like left in the air that never really got discussed afterwards. I'm not really sure why. But yeah, Seth Rollins then talks about how he wants to be a fighting champion. I am all down for Seth Rollins having the World Heavyweight Championship. I think he deserves it. He gets probably the loudest pops on the roster. So 100% Seth Rollins would be a main candidate for me to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comments. What do you guys think? Do you think that Seth Rollins is going to win the title, or do you have someone else in mind? If you think there's going to be someone else, let me know. Also, MVP was there and he's talking about how Seth Rollins is going to have a future because Almost is going to destroy him at Backlash, blah, 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 blah. Almost is really big, really strong, the Nigerian giant, etc. Who cares? Seth Rollins is going to be Almost. I mean, you better add anyway. Like, I mean, come on. Really? Can you really imagine Almost beating Seth Rollins? No. I cannot imagine that whatsoever. If that happens, then Jesus Christ, I am coming off TikTok, guys. Like I don't even know what to say about that. Seth Rollins, fair play to him, says he's gonna stomp Almost and put him in the ground. We then go backstage again, guys, to a segment now where Matt Riddle is just annoying Kevin Owens. He's just talking absolute nonsense. Sami Zayn comes into the room and Kevin Owens is like, where have you been all night? And Sami Zayn admits that he's been talking to Jey Uso and that he's been talking to Jimmy Uso. Kevin Owens gets a little bit annoyed at this, saying, why do you still care about these guys? If these guys haven't realized that the Roman Reigns is lackeys all this time, then that's their own fault. You need to stop worrying about this. You need to stop worrying about everything apart from defending these championships on Friday night SmackDown. Sami Zayn, obviously, like, I mean, I agree with Kevin Owens. Like, these guys have had enough chances. But Kevin Owens walks off annoyed in a huff, and Matt Riddle turns around and says, I know how you feel, bro. Sami Zayn's just like looking at him like, what? Like, how? How do you know how I feel? And like he brings up a really good point, and he goes, when I was tagging with Randy Orton, last year, everyone every week said that Randy was going to RKO me, but guess what? It never happened, and now we're bros, bro, 420, bro. And Sami Zayn goes, actually, you know what? You're right. You're right about that, to be fair. So we get to the main event here, guys. I am very aware, by the way, that the lighting in my room has vastly changed since I started this video. It's getting a bit dark, guys. That's why. I've had to leave it a little bit later to make this video, so I do apologize. But you can still see my lovely face. It looks like I've just got like a blonde fringe going on, but I promise it's, my hair looks better than that. I mean, less of talking about myself. Let's go into the main event. We got Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest. Now, I'll say this 1,000 times about Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest is fantastic working with the smaller people on the roster. I think he's amazing how he really sells for him and how he works around him. Like, a lot of big guys don't work very well around smaller guys, but Damian Priest is one of those people who can work really well. I mean, obviously, it doesn't hurt that he's in the ring with Rey Mysterio, a guy that could make a broomstick look great in the ring. Rey Mysterio is also very good making the big guys look great. He sells for him a lot. He looks like a proper underdog when he's fighting the smaller, the bigger guys, like having to fight for every little bit in that ring that he can. So Rey Mysterio and Damian Priest have really, really good chemistry, to be fair. This match is very, very good, and I would like to see this again and again. I wouldn't mind Rey Mysterio and Damian Priest going into an actual feud. I wouldn't mind seeing them fight for a championship, to be honest with you. Give me more of that. Like, if we ever get like a Judgment Day versus LWO kind of rivalry going on, a little bit more of that. I know we're getting that a little bit further into the future. I believe it's at Backlash. I don't think Damian Priest is involved though because of what happens after this. But I would love to see it. So the match ends with a disqualification. Damian Priest gets frustrated with Rey Mysterio and just hits him with a chair. Hits him with the South of Heaven. When finally Bad Bunny appears in the arena. Guys, like, we've been saying that Bad Bunny has been coming all night. He's been posting videos about how he's on his way to the arena, how he's here, blah, blah, blah. He says he's a massive fan of WWE, but he only just shows up in like the last 5 minutes of the show. But he comes out with a kendo stick, does Bad Bunny, and he starts to absolutely wail on Damian Priest, who is getting absolutely battered by Bad Bunny here. There's a bit here where Damian Priest has Bad Bunny on the table. It looks like he's about to hit him with a South of Heaven. Bad Bunny slips away, hits him with a kendo stick in the leg, and Damian Priest falls on the table. The table then breaks. Damian Priest runs away for some reason. I don't feel like Bad Bunny had that much of an advantage, but whatever, Damian. Bad Bunny gets on the microphone and says to Damian, "Hey, by the way, I'm not hosting Backlash anymore." So it's like off the microphone, you can hear Damian Priest talking a load of crap going, "Well, go home then. Go home." Bad Bunny then gets on the mic and that says, actually, I'm going to be facing you in Puerto Rico in a street fight, and I'm going to kick your ass. And I am looking forward to this match because Damian Priest is great. Obviously, he was around when Bad Bunny was getting trained, so he knows how Bad Bunny works in the ring. Bad Bunny is quite smooth in the ring himself. He's still maybe a bit green, but I still think Damian Priest could hold him to a great match. Especially if it's like a street fight, because you just know some people are going to be getting involved. Like I say, Damian Priest is talking a load of good nonsense off the microphone here. You can hear him in the background, which I was really enjoying. Like he dips in between a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of English. So I'm excited for this. Let me know what you think of this in the comments, guys. And all in all, because we're at the end now, let me know what you think of Monday Night Raw in the comments as well. Did you enjoy it this week? Did you think it fell a bit flat? What do you think about the new World Heavyweight Championship? Right, all of that in the comments. Make sure you leave a like on this video as well, guys. Make sure you just subscribe to the channel because we upload so much content throughout the week. We have got a draft coming up this week. I cannot wait, guys. It's going to be absolutely fantastic where the Outcasted crew, and we have got a special guest joining us who is going to be helping us, helping the boys. The boys are back in town. Do a couple of drafts. It's the boys versus the girls with a special guest. So that is going to be absolutely fantastic. Obviously, we've got this video, the Monday Night Raw review, and we've got a SmackDown review that came out on Saturday morning. Go and check that out if you want to see our SmackDown opinions. NXT tomorrow, guys, is going to be covered. I'm not sure who it's going to be covered by. If it's by me, then I'll definitely see you tomorrow. Go follow us and you'll get the latest updates on the Outcasted OC TikTok channel and the Outcasted OC Instagram page, guys. You can also go follow me on TikTok at Rudy Poo Candy Ass. You can talk to me on Instagram if you want at Hype Reese. That's RHYST. But for now, guys, and I am going to give my quick predictions to who I think is going to be the first ever World Heavyweight Champion. I think it's going to be Seth Rollins. That's my pick for it. That's who I want to win. But let me know who you think it's going to be in the comments, guys. But for now, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic Tuesday night. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and peace out.